Welcome back, everyone. We're moving on to page 121. Yeah, there's a thumbs up. I don't know. We're in Module 1, Topic 3, Lesson 1. So again, this is page 121. Using a number line to compare decimals. Decimals are valuable when you need more precision for measurements between whole numbers. The decimal point in a number separates the whole part of the number from the fractional part. The digits following the decimal point represent a value less than 1. So that's important. The digits following the decimal point represent a value less than 1. So underline that, please. Over here on the side says, remember, you can write a rational number in the form of a over b, where b is not equal to 0. If you can write a decimal as a fraction, then it's a rational number, is what we call it. So remember, fractions can't be over 0. Let's use a number line to represent decimals. It says your teacher will assign students to participate in the activity. Be sure to record what happens on the number line. And we will be doing this in class. So if you are missing class, I'm just going to go over what that's going to look like somewhat here in class, and we're just going to write it on here. So I'm going to pass out some index cards, and I'm going to have a number line taped on the floor. I'll have 0, some spaces, a 1, some spaces, and a 2. And I have 5 different index cards I'll give out to kids, and the first student I will have go place themselves correctly on the number line will be a student that has an index card that says 1 and 5/10, and then they have to find where on the number line that is. So as far as the whole numbers, I know of 1 whole and then 5/10 of another one. So if we look at how this number line is broken up, 0 to 1 and then 1 to 2. And how many spaces are in between? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so it must be broken up into, that's right, tenths. So 1 and 5/10 would be 1 and 1/10 is here, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10. So the first student is going to stand right here. So this is where the 1 and 5/10 is located. The next one I'm going to have is just 5/10. No whole number this time, just 5/10. So that's going to be before 1, between 0 and 1, and it's still in tenths here. So 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10. So that's going to be right here, 5/10. And you may have already like numbered your number line. Maybe you did this. And that is correct. We are adding the decimal notation to our number line. So on the upper side here, please write it as a decimal. Okay, then the next one is 6/10. Well, that's just continuing right in line. If I continued the fractional form, and then this one is 10/10, right? 10 out of 10 is 1. So 6/10 is right here, and as a decimal, it's written 0.6. Okay, so next I have 7/10. Well, it looks like we're just going right in line. So that's going to be right here. Okay, so now I'm going to say, how about 55/100ths? And you might say, well, the number line is not broken into 100ths, but it kind of is. What's another way that I could write 5/10 or 4/10? What's an equivalent fraction that I could write using hundredths? So if I had 5/10 and I wanted something equivalent, but I wanted it in hundredths, how many hundredths is the same as 5/10? How do I go from 10 to 100? I multiply by 10, so 5 times 10, 50 100ths. And that makes sense. 5/10 is 1/2. 50 hundredths is 1/2, correct? Okay, so 5/10 right here is the same as, and I'm kind of getting into this next question here, I guess, 50 hundredths. So the 6/10 would be the same as 60 hundredths. So the question we're asking is right here, 55 hundredths. So where would that be? Well, 55 is halfway between 50 and 60. So it's going to be halfway on the number line between 5/10 and 6/10. Okay, pause if you need to. I hope that makes sense. Get it? Sense? We were talking about money on the last page. Okay, so next one says, plot a point on the number line to represent each decimal. So you can pause and try this if you'd like, and then come back and we will get it figured out. Okay, so we have a number line now that goes from 0 to 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, it's broken up into tenths. So we have 25 hundredths. So where would that be? Well, on one side of 25 hundredths would be 20 hundredths, and on the other side would be 30 hundredths. And using the logic we just had, we know this is the same as 2/10. And this is the same as 3/10. So 1/10, 2/10 is here. 3/10 is here. So this is the 0.2. This one is the 0.3. So 25 is halfway between the 20 and 30. So this is also 20 hundredths. This is 30 hundredths. So 25 hundredths will be right here, halfway between those. Okay, 1 and 38 hundredths. Okay, so we know we're going to be past the 1. Then let's look at the decimal part. 38 hundredths. That'll be halfway between 3 hundredths. Not halfway, it's a little more than halfway actually. And 40 hundredths. 35 hundredths is halfway. So this is on the other side of the half. So 30 hundredths is the same as the 3/10, which is here. Oh, but we're after the whole number 1. Don't forget the 1. So 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, or 1 100th, 10 100ths, 20 100ths, 30 100ths. So here's 40 100ths or 4/10, so the 38 will be about here. So this is 1 and 38 hundredths. I'm actually going to write the letters. I think you can write the numbers if you want. I think it's going to get a bit crowded, so I'm going to start writing the letters. Okay, so C is 5/10. Well, that one's probably pretty easy, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our letter C is right here. It's the 5/10. D, 2 and 3/10. So we have to go past the number 2. 1, 2, 3/10. So here's our letter D. So this is 2 and 3/10. Letter E, 56 hundredths. So that's going to be between 50 hundredths and 60 hundredths, which we know is the same as 6/10 on this side and 5/10 on this side. We already marked the 5/10, so this would be the 6/10. So 56 is a little more than halfway between the 50 and 60. So I'm going to put it about there, and I'm going to label it E. If you can squeeze it in, you have to write really tiny. You could put it down there. 2 and 92 hundredths. So it's going to go past the number 2, and then we have 92 hundredths. So that will be between 90 100ths and 100 100ths. So if we had 2 and 100 100ths, that's the same as what whole number? Right, 3. So it's going to be all the way out here at the end, because 90 100ths is the same as 9/10. 2 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9/10. So 2 9/10 is going to be about right there. That's my letter F. Okay, moving on, G, 1 75/100. So it's partway between the 70/100 and the 80/100. So halfway between 7/10 and 8/10. So we had past the whole number 1. Can't forget that. 1 and. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7/10, 8, 9. That's right. So there's my 7/10. So right here would be my 75, because that would be 70/100, 80/100. So 75/100 is in the middle. So that's my letter G. And then my letter H, 1 1/10. Well, at this point, that one should be pretty simple. There's the whole number 1, and there's 1/10, letter H. Okay, number 3 says, which one has the greatest value and which one has the least? So which number is the biggest? Remember, on a number line, as you move to the right, numbers get what? Right, larger. So the greatest value is going to be the number that's all the way to the right, which in this case is letter F, which is 2 92/100. Which one is the least? Is the one furthest to the right, or I'm sorry, to the left. Right to get bigger. The furthest on the left for smaller. So that was, looks like this letter A, which was 25/100. Okay, number 4 says, how can you use the number line to compare numbers? Well, we kind of just said it here, so we can write it as when looking at a number line, the numbers further to the right are always greater. Okay, now I'm actually going to stop this video right here because it's a little bit more than 13 minutes long. So I want to be able to separate that from the next page. If you're moving on to page 122, please hop over to the next video.